Okay, now that we have our switch hitter mounted, what we'll do is go through some steps on how to use it. Now the switch hitter has a audio jack in the back and a on-off switch. All orders should have came with a DeWalt battery, and if you ordered the switch, it'll come with a switch, a gumball switch. If you did not order a switch, you'll have to provide your own. This is one that I have. But what you do is you take your audio jack, you plug it in the back, make sure it's turned off. Your DeWalt battery goes in the bottom, just like so. To test to kind of see if your switch hitter is fully connected and working is you turn it on, you press the button, and you listen for a little clunk. That's what you want to hear. Now, when you get up to bat, you pull the bat out and you set the ball to where it hits just in the middle of the bat. You may need a shorter tee. We provide tees through Tanner Tees that are smaller. So some wheelchairs like this one would not be able to use a full-size standard tee. You would need a smaller one. Bigger wheelchairs, or if you mount them higher, can use the standard tees. But just as a reference, you may need a smaller tee. Once you get the ball and the tee set up, you bring it all the way back. It will lock into place, you'll hear it. And then you go up to the plate, you're all set. And what you do is when you're ready for the user to swing the bat, you turn the safety switch on. Then your switch hitter is ready to go. As soon as somebody hits the button, and it can be any kind of activation switch that is used by an audio jack, you hit the button, it'll swing. Let's see here. It'll swing the bat and hit the ball off the tee. Now that bar there is used to stop the bat from hitting the wheelchair or the user, and as you heard, it's kind of loud. The other thing we do offer or suggest is we bought a pool noodle, and when they go to hit, we slide the pool noodle on there so it dampens the sound. Now, a big thing to remember is before you start running for first base after you hit, make sure you turn the switch hitter off. You don't want it to be live, because if the user is sitting there holding this button, the internal workings can overheat and then they swell, which will ruin them. So what we do is before we start hitting to first base, we just turn the switch hitter off, and then we start rolling for first base, and then turn it back on when you're ready to use it. Because if they sit there and hold this button by accident or on purpose, it can cause damage to your switch hitter that would need to be replaced. Another common thing is when you bat, when you lock this back and you push the button and it doesn't go off, one of the biggest issues of that is the bat is too heavy. It's putting too much pressure on the side of the switch hitter to release the pin, so you may have to lift on the bat just a little bit to get it to unlock and get a new bat put back in. Now, the other troubleshooting issue is you bring the bat back but it doesn't lock into place. The internal parts are magnetic, so sometimes the pin stays in the charged position, which is okay. The way that you reset it is you take your fist and you hit the side of the switch hitter. So you can give it a pretty good hit. Just don't really beat on it, but you can give it a good hit and it will release that pin. It's just held on by a magnet very loosely. So if you hit it, it should release, and then you can bring it back and lock it into place. Now what we'll do is we'll take, in the next video, and switch it from hitting to swinging the ball.